always using the same original components. So this particular tank, which was captured by the British, I might say, in Tunisia in 1943, is still in its original, pretty well original condition. Still don't know what to say about the Tiger, it hasn't already been said. It was a big, hefty tank, weighing 56 tons, with 100mm of thick frontal armour, and armed with the 88mm gun, probably the most fearsome weapon fielded by a tank during the Second World War. It's driven by a Maybach V12 petrol engine, and if anybody suggests for a minute that it's diesel, you are allowed to clock them on the head. And the tank is fitted with a coaxial machine gun. That's to say, there's a machine gun mounted alongside the main gun, which turns when the turret turns and goes up and down with the main gun, and another one in the front of the hull, which is worked by the radio unit. One of the things you'll notice with the Tiger is that there are what appear to be dozens of road is the Churchill fold. Privately owned by Nigel Montgomery, fully installed in the markings of the North Irish Horse, the lace of the North Irish Horse. And the reason we're showing you these two tanks together is because there's a Churchill, just like this one, that captured the Tiger, or the Churchill in question was from 48th Raw Tank Regiment, some members of that regiment did it today. And you can, if you look close to the Tiger, actually see the scratch marks left by the rounds of the 6-pounder gun, underneath the main gun and off the side of the turret. And we still don't really know why it was Crewe evacuated the Tiger. They'd already knocked out at least 2 Churchills. See the smoke discharges on each side of the turret? They're there to their smoke screen in front of the tank. At the back, we've got the special air cleaners that were developed for the desert, and the covered exhaust pipes. They get incredibly hot, the paint burns on them. The thing is that Tiger has a fearsome reputation, but it's worth remarking that it was seen in Germany as more of an instrument design. They only built about 1,300, which is not very high. As it was, they could only produce about 500 King Tigers, and therefore had pretty well sealed their fate at that time. But it's quite good. The other thing, again, going back to what we talked about earlier, if you look when the Tiger comes round, the drive sprocket is at the front. And the driver is actually sitting, and they actually have armour thickness at the front, which is the same as Tiger, but covering a much smaller area. There's a lot of bugbears with both tanks, in fact. If you want to move either of them by rail, which is the normal method of moving tanks in the Second World War, on the Churchill you have to take, you can see the air cleans or air inlets on the side with the name Armand painted on them, and they have to be lifted off the train. With the Tiger, you have to move more than that, you have to take the tracks off, all the outer roads, put on special narrow tracks and remove all the external timber to make the tank just narrow enough to fit onto the German railway wagons. And since their loading gauge was generous, it was still a big tank even then. The Churchill was the very first time they were used in action with the Canadians at Dieppe in August 1942. When the Germans captured them, they imagined that the British had done the dirty of the Canadians, given them some old First World War tanks that they were warring, not realising that Churchill had really dangerous tanks. Oh, because its engine power is not that great, but it does have an amazing ability to climb during the campaign in Tunisia after trying to